you go. Awesome. I saw that there was like 9 subscribers or something. I don't know if they were waiting, but
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So are we
Okay.
actually going live now?
This is live now. Yeah. So
Okay.
this is what will be posted. All of this right here. So
Okay. So we're actually kind of recording it live and then we're going to post it.
hmm
Is that
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just get my little notes pulled up.
Yeah. So I can start. Um, Welcome everybody. This is our first podcast. Um, we're just kind of doing a test run and seeing how it goes. But we are Calm Roots. My name is Rita. This is Kim, and
Hello.
we do events together. And we both practice Reiki. We're both Reiki practitioners, and like I said, we do events in Portland and online together. We do about maybe like 6 to 10 events a month. Reiki shares, Reiki pop ups, so, disclaimer, we're not medical practitioners. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes. And we wanted to start this pod along with this Reiki channel I have on YouTube so that you guys can hear about our experience with Reiki and learn about what Reiki is. And also so that you can hear about others' experiences, what it's like to receive a Reiki session or give a Reiki session, um, and also just to share what type of wisdom we picked up along the way, the lessons we've learned, and whatnot. So, yeah, we're open to hearing any suggestions on topics. You guys can just put that in the chat.
We also do Reiki training. We're master practitioners. So we do attune people. This year so far, we have attuned 4 people, and we have 2 more coming up this month. So we're feeling really good about that. We started doing birthday parties, Reiki birthday parties, and we started offering for bachelorette parties. And Reiki is just something that you can do anywhere, anytime, anyway. And I think as we go along, we'll probably share a lot of those types of experiences just so that it's not something that you're stuck in one place in one room doing it.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Do you want to introduce our first topic for our first episode today?
Sure. So we were talking recently, and as we had this conversation, this subject developed for us, and it's the senses of Reiki. It's like what when you're doing Reiki, and when we say doing Reiki, let's back up for just a moment. As a practitioner, we are not giving Reiki to heal you. We are not the healers. We're simply holding space for the Reiki energy to come in to the individual. It's the individual's journey. Um, and oftentimes, as we're holding this space, we receive Reiki as well. And we get visions, or we have smells, or we have sensations tingling in our body, or maybe we start to feel dizzy, and all of that means something. That's the person's energy talking to us, giving us the messages to share with the person as they're ready to hear them and receive them. And so that's what we wanted to kind of talk about today.
Yeah, I don't know if you had an example that you were thinking of, but I thought of 2 examples for us yesterday was the witch hat that I saw that I wanted to share, and then yours was like to me the pink tables were was super cool. And as you were talking about it, I noticed it too, and I could see how it would pop out for you.
Yeah, that was one example, I think, for both of us. But I also we would be remiss if we did not talk about the chaos that happened in the street
Yes.
when we were working on that one individual on the table. And I think that is just such a great example of what we experience as practitioners, um,
Yeah,
when
totally.
we're doing sessions.
I think that it's a big challenge for me actually when things like that happen because it's a challenge because I just wanted to be quiet when I'm working, but then it's like, well, I also know the other side of it is that that's part of the message. And I know that it is, but it's like I can't shake the feeling that I'm getting of being irritated. But the way that I knew that it was part of the message was because um, I was just going crazy, feeling like it needed to be. This was actually before the guy came. I was a different client and I felt irritated and I felt like I needed like zero silence, even though we were outside and I couldn't help it. And but then after that, I didn't feel that. And it was nothing had changed besides the client. So I knew that okay, it was just this client and she had said that, she felt very irritated in general by the noise and the chaos around her life. Whereas the other person wasn't as affected by that same circumstance. So I think
Hmm.
it's important to use the discernment and to notice those little subtle differences in how we're feeling and to not let it get the best of you or like some people will shut down a session because it's like loud or hey, what's up, Loon? How you doing? This is my friend Loon that I did the collab with that I was telling you about, Kim.
Welcome, Lynn.
Mhm.
Nice to have you.
Thank you for saying hi. Lately, there's been like one person watching on my live, and I never know who it is. And I'm like, who is this? We're doing good.
We're doing good. Yeah,
This
for
is
sure.
our first podcast episode. So we're just talking about the sensations that we feel during Reiki and how to distinguish them from like our own feelings, I guess.
Nice to meet you as well. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm curious about when you do, because you do tarot, but obviously you're intuitive and you get messages and downloads like that too. So curious what if you have anything to add about your sensations that you feel during tarot readings, if you smell things or I know you get like an energy of anxiety or things like that for people too.
So when we were just talking about that irritation, there was something that occurred to me that I think is kind of important to gently point out, right? Is
Yeah.
when we're getting the messages or we're receiving the visions, you're right, discernment's so important to say, is this coming from the client's energy or is this something that's my energy, right? Because it's and but not to focus on it to the degree of losing what's going on here in front of you.
Yeah.
However, when giving feedback too, that discernment is so important because we want to make sure that we're truly giving the feedback from the energy that we receive from the client and not bringing too much of our own personal story into
Right.
what we're seeing
Yeah.
because I mean, we want to be transparent with our clients, but we also want to make sure that we're being ethical too, right? That we're
Right.
giving accurate information.
Yes, and what we go through is not what everybody else is going through. I
Hmm.
think that's
Hmm.
super important.
Yeah, I do too.
Loon said it's funny. You said I can read the energy between people's questions or statements. Yeah, like what they're really asking.
Hmm.
And then I feel that way with pictures too. My friend will always send me pictures and be like, "What do you think of this person? Like, how snaky are they?"
Hmm.
Yeah. I
Well,
do
and
picture.
we can you can read the energy the moment like they that it comes into the room, right?
Yeah.
Because being empaths, as all of us are, it's the energies hit us much further out than
Hmm.
it does for others who are not as aware.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't experienced taste. That's one of the ones that I want to experience more of. Like that's what I want to
Well,
heighten.
didn't you though? Didn't
I,
when we went through that hypnosis with Angela, remember the
mhm.
lemon in the fridge? Didn't
Oh
you
yeah.
get like that sensation in your mouth too?
I do, yeah. That's when she like if somebody tells me to visualize something like a lemon, I can salivate, but I won't, like during a Reiki session, I haven't tasted, like that's
Mhm.
not a sense that usually comes up as much for me. But I
Mhm.
feel like I could enhance it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe through changing my palette. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but that's something that I would like to learn how to enhance.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I I get smells, and then
Mhm.
smells can lead to me to sometimes get tastes. Um,
Yeah. Not always during Reiki too. Sometimes I remember walking into my basement and smelling a certain person, and I was like, "There's no way that this smell should be down here," So that's happened a few times.
what a great thing to do right now, right? Killing two birds with one
Listen,
stone. Hanging out with a couple of Reiki chicks and doing your ironing. You're welcome. Here's some Reiki, Loon.
I it reminds me of when my dad would give me piles and piles of clothes to iron on Sundays. It's like
Yes,
trauma. That's what's happening right now.
that's funny.
Are you're that's cute that I don't iron anything. But you work Loon's a teacher and you're in summer
Oh,
school right now. Yeah, he's also a sped teacher. Well, he says he's gen ed, but he's sped.
that's cool. So I really kind of want to go back to the one sensation that we kind of experienced yesterday, and I think we need to kind
Oh
of set the
yeah.
stage by
Yes.
what was going on. So we were at a Reiki pop-up, essentially, um, near downtown Portland, at a metaphysical store in a really cute little, like artsy restauranty area.
Uptown. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uptown.
and we were giving Reiki to people as they walked by, with their permission, of course. They would get on the table. So we had this lady on the table, and when she first got on the table, there was just I felt like unstable. I was just like I started kind of rocking back and forth, and I had to kind of like separate my legs to get more like standard on the ground. And then no sooner did that happen, and there was this ruckus in the street. Now there was lots of traffic going by, and there were lots of people walking, right? And this individual, um, who was having an episode, uh, believed that he was the school cross guard, and he was directing cars as though I think they were like students crossing the street. But he was very angry about it. So it was like it felt very much like I was back at school waiting to cross the street. Um, but of course, it gets everybody's attention, right? And he's putting his hands in places that you're like, I don't know what's about to play out here, but I there's all kinds of distraction going on right now. Meanwhile, we are still like giving Reiki energy, so we're like our focus is here, but also over here, right?
Well,
Uh,
he's screaming, go, go. Like it's like telling all the cars to go. It's like,
and then getting
you
mad
go.
as they're going by. It's like I'm not clear here.
Yeah, where are they going? He's like, hurry up and go. It's like, well, what are you doing? Are you crossing the street? Like, you go, you know?
Right. So, nonetheless, instinctively, without we talked about it afterwards, but not at the moment. Rita and I both kind of started directing Reiki to him in addition to our client on the table, because we felt like we needed to de-escalate the energy that was going on here. And then he
It
left.
worked. Yeah, it worked.
Um, but the point of that, kind of leading up to this, is that was not the only chaos that occurred when we had this client on the table, because shortly after he left, there was cars like honking, and there was dog barking, and then there was a person walking by on the sidewalk with a little dachshund dog, and you could hear the little nails like clicking on the sidewalk, and it was like just chaos. And I was at the woman's feet at this point trying to ground her, because I could tell that she was like way ungrounded. But what would you say about that situation?
Oh, it would remember it was her stomach. So she had like stomach issues and like rightfully so because of all this chaos in her life, right? That's what I remember was her stomach issues. And then being like, she was like, my stomach issues just won't go away. And I was like, just like that man would not go away and just his annoyingness wouldn't go away. And it was that same energy. So being able to relate those two and see
Yes.
how, like it's a reflection of that. It's just the energy you're reading. But yeah, it's like she just needs to calm the chaos in her life and reduce the stress because that's what's causing the stomach aches and the digestion slowing down and all that. But yeah, the little time that it took him to just get the F out of the way was like, hurry up. And it's like, that's
Well,
probably
and
how
then
her
remember
digestion,
after like everything started to kind of calm, he kind of came back around for another quick loop, but he
like
kept
acid
moving.
reflux. Yeah.
And acid reflux. There you go.
Yeah. Like, man, just
Exactly.
go. I was so annoyed. Just go away.
But I think that's a great example when we're talking about the senses, right? There are
Yeah.
some moments where you're just like, there's just no way this has anything to do with me directly.
No, it doesn't. And
Um,
it doesn't matter where you are. I realize like some people will change their whole business setup because they feel like, I don't know, they had a few loud moments, but it's like, it doesn't matter where you are. It can be quiet, but then if the person comes with chaotic energy, it'll just get loud. Like last time in my Reiki room, my mom's like chopping bamboo. I'm like, did you have to do this during this session? And that's like, you know, it somehow the message was like perfectly aligned. And it's just, yeah. So you
well,
can't
and
just,
there you go. That talks about the messages, right? It's like
yeah,
what does that mean? It
right.
doesn't mean anything, right? But it does
Right.
generally end up telling a story about the person that's having the session.
Loon. Loon's question. So yeah, very good question. Definitely. I think I was telling you that we get past lives a lot. And the latest one I got, I had an early Reiki session and I started seeing like I saw like an elephant and then sometimes I might just move on, write it down, but for sometimes I'll sit with it and then the elephant turned into like a rice field and then I saw like I knew it was Vietnam, and then it was like a man that was a cattle herder. And then I asked spirit and angel guides if that was this person's past life. And I got a yes. So, it's something that you could probably also see. But yeah, it's kind of like sitting with the vision for a while and seeing if anything else pops up and then asking. But it's like so you already kind of know, right? But you're just asking just for confirmation. I don't get chaotic energy from you, but I know that you like to get things done as a Scorpio and you like to like check off all as many boxes as you can, like in one session.
I'm a
So
Scorpio. I love it. I
yeah.
get it. You're
Yeah.
speaking my language.
Yeah. So but last session we did, I thought was really good and you slowed down and it was perfect. I felt like it felt like our second Reiki pop-up, Kim, like how the first one was a little crazy and then the second one was calm. It felt
Hmm.
like that. But I felt a little more fuzzy during the second one, just I think just because it was retrograde. Yeah, pretty sure. I was like, is it because I started eating meat again a little bit? Maybe. Yeah. I told
That's
her to
funny.
slow told them to slow
Slow
down.
down. It's funny.
We
It's
should
good. It's good to keep each other kind of in check gently like that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I think Scorpio and Cancers are the best pair.
I don't disagree.
So I think for some reason I get paired up with Virgos a lot, but like that's more of a challenge for me. Now I get like a little bit more. I feel like Scorpios is a little bit more of a rewarding energy for me. But
Yeah, for sure.
you're
So there
pretty
were
calm.
so there were other sensations, which I think is kind of interesting to point out too. In addition to when we were in that one point of that session yesterday, like I
Yeah.
was feeling, and I think you had mentioned it also. Um, so when we talk about like the chakra centers, for
Mhm.
those who don't know what that is, actually, at some point we should probably back up and talk about what Reiki is, because we probably may have some listeners that don't know what that
Yeah.
is at some point.
I
Um,
think so. We can jump around.
but I when I'm working along certain chakra centers or lines of people, that's generally when I get different messages, which obviously mean different things as I'm watching the story unfold. Um, Loon, being a tarot reader, I've had a couple of sessions which are so fascinating to me, where I've actually done like a card reading through energy work of the chakras on the client, and got
Hmm.
I was blessed enough that they were remote sessions, so I was able to record them, which was really cool to go back and listen to. But uh, it's it I get different sensations. So it's like sometimes I'll get cold, or sometimes I'll get like
Hmm.
nauseous. I
That's
remember the one
good.
lady we had with that. Thank God I got pulled away, because when I came into her energy field, I got so sick I had to sit down.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I felt like that with sometimes if patients are like terminally ill or have cancer, I'll get really nauseous. And I felt like other practitioners have said that too, is like they'll feel nausea when there's like illness or disease present or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's good to notice. I actually pointed that out to somebody as a practitioner. I noticed during a few Reiki shares that they would get sick when somebody had like some illness present and they didn't notice that. So, yeah, it's good to make note of those things.
Sometimes it's something that seems to come up fairly common for me around working like the solar plexus and sacral areas on people. When I come into those energy centers, I'll suddenly get like a really sharp pain in my back if
Mm-hmm.
there's some like density or trapped energy, and I'll have to like find myself having to try to adjust because it's
Yeah,
so uncomfortable. And
it'll
so
be.
that's something. Go
It
ahead.
might be. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes like you'll put your hand on their stomach or something, and then you'll feel instant like sharpness in your right hip or something like that. That's when I look it
Hmm.
up and see what that means. Because yeah, I could see as a practitioner sometimes you might be like, "Oh, I'm just sore, like it's my own soreness or something," right? But I
Hmm.
I always attribute it to the person's message, like it's their energy, it's their message. And I didn't have
Hmm.
this pain before, so
Right.
yeah.
Well, and that the another thing that I was just thinking about is we're moving through like the body scan, which I know we'll talk about that at some point as well. What do we often see when people tell us, I have bad knees, I have bad hips, I have pain in my ankles, I have pain in my feet? It's like they're inevitably we get messages that they are hesitating to move forward with something. They're stuck somewhere. They're right. So
I'm
those
gonna
are
make
kinds of
like a chart.
common things that we see.
I want to make a chart and I haven't yet just because it's like I already have memorized things, but like leg pain, left leg pain specifically is like, yeah, feeling like self-limiting thoughts, restrictions, and then like tightness in your stomach when you're breathing. Sometimes I'll breathe and yeah, it'll be tight. Yeah,
Thanks
thanks for
for
stopping.
stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Sleep well.
He's in Rhode Island, so he's 3 hours ahead.
Nice.
Yeah, so and let us know if you have any questions, anybody else who's in here,
Mhm.
um, about what we're talking about. But yeah, so so I think it'd be cool to make a chart eventually, but what all the different sensations mean. Tightness in the stomach is like limiting beliefs, restrictions, holding yourself back, getting in your own way. And then lower back pain is like financial problems,
Yeah.
family issues. Right? So I think that's very interesting.
I
How
do think that there's definitely a lot of truth to the review. I don't think you can like blanket say, "Oh, I have pain in my ankle. Oh, well, that means this." I think
Mhm.
it plays along with, um, "Hello,
Hey, Alicia.
Alicia." I think that plays along with what else is coming up in the reading as to really
Mhm.
how it all kind of comes together. So I think we have to be careful trying
Yeah.
like not making a blanket statement, so to speak,
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
what this means, right?
Mhm.
Well, and the other thing is what do we always say when we're giving recaps of our sessions? Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I'm not a
Yeah.
doctor. I just play one on TV, right? That's my favorite to say.
Hey, I know. Actually, sometimes it feels that way when people get up and they're just like, "Thank you," and they don't say anything, but then later they're like, "Everything resonated," and yeah,
hmm
I haven't had too much of people saying that it doesn't resonate. Surprisingly.
I haven't had anybody. I mean, and when I first started, and I still, I would say I'm still fairly new
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
trade, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I think you always are like not sure if it's means something when you
Yeah.
get a vision or you hear a word. But I like the other night when we were at the Reiki show that we did, I was sitting between the two ladies and I kept getting a sense, the one that was to my right more so, but I couldn't tell for sure that somebody was writing a book or had written a
Yeah.
book
Yeah.
or
How
something like
beautiful.
that. And so I just kind of stayed with it, and it kind of felt like it became more from this lady on my right.
Mhm.
And as I was sitting there, I got this vision of her, like I saw a book open like on a table, and I saw her like furiously writing. And, then the word book just kept coming through, book, 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 and
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? What?
Well,
I don't know about that." But then as we were all talking, right, I was like, "Are you writing a book?" And then she's like, freaked the hell out, right?
yeah.
Because she's like, I put that away, I shelved it." I'm like, "You need to get it back out." Because that's just how it felt, right? But that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, it's like sometimes I get words and it's like, is that
Mhm.
really a word or am I making this up?"
Right, yeah. I know it feels so because it's feels so out of the blue, but like, why wouldn't it be? Because we don't know them. So of
Right,
course, like, we don't know anything. So it's like it's super trusting your intuition and really, really trusting yourself. And then I think the more we do it, the more we just know that most likely this message is correct and for this person.
right.
But I think it's okay to ask also, does this resonate? And yeah, 99.9% of the time it resonates somehow.
Yeah, I think I mean, yeah, I think it's I love what we do. It's not even work. It's like we get to like play all day. It's so
Yeah.
awesome.
I think of like, I can't think of the names of any of those superhero movies, but it's just like we're all just superheroes with different gifts. And then I always think of that. It's super cool to be
Yeah.
able to use them to help people.
I heard somebody say something very recently about superheroes, like what is your superhero power? And
Mm,
she said, being my authentic self. And I was just like,
that was cool.
oh, that's my superhero
Yeah.
power too.
Yeah.
Being my authentic self. I love
Yeah.
that.
That.
That's everybody's power. And everybody has it if they use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't see it as a power. They see it sometimes. They don't want to reveal it and they don't know that it's a power and they try to hide their authenticity and uniqueness when really it's a superpower.
Right?
Hmm. Alicia, this Alicia is a friend of mine that I made through Lynn's channel. Do you have any
Yeah.
questions for us, Alicia? This is Kim, my Reiki friend, business partner, and yeah, we're just talking about sensations that we feel and our senses that we use during Reiki. That's like our podcast topic. But yeah, we're open to questions if you have any.
Any questions?
Mhm.
Any questions? We like to just visit and connect with people.
Alicia's experienced a few. I think you were maybe at both of our collaborations with the Taro and the Reiki. So I think you've gotten a couple reads, a couple Reiki sessions, samples.
Nice. Did you have any experiences afterward? Any sensations that you felt during your sessions?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too, Alicia. How did you feel after Reiki? It was very, I don't know if it was just the Taro, like it's so quick. So it's like he pulls a card and then I I kind of read them that energy that I get in like those 30 seconds in the next 6 months. Let's check it out. And whoever else is here, if you would have any questions and you want to see what comes up with Reiki, it's like tarot reading without the cards. We just get messages
We read
down
the
them.
energy.
Yeah. And yeah, we're also going to do this. This is cool to incorporate it into our podcast topic. But we'll also just be on lives and just do readings and answer questions. I thought that'd be fun also.
Hmm.
So for Alicia, will things get better for you in the next 6 months? Turn on my little meditation music.
If you, Alicia, wouldn't mind just closing your eyes and being open to receiving, we'll do about maybe 3 minutes. Give her
Yeah.
like 3 minutes of Reiki and see what comes about.
Mhm.
So, Alicia, I am getting that you have been chasing after something. And I saw you running after what looked like kind of a beach ball across the road. And that beach ball was, as soon as you would get to it, would like pop out and move forward. And it's like you were like popping after it. And that was on the blue side of the ball. And so what I saw was that this, whatever this is that you're chasing, you keep trying to present yourself in a way that you will be accepted. And the message that came through to me is being your authentic self is your best route. And as you come, whatever it is that you are seeking, if you are your authentic self and stop chasing it, let it come to you, but manifest it from a place of your heart, then you will get that. And your next 6 months, I do see that there's going to be a tremendous amount of growth coming through for you.
Awesome. And so I wrote this down. I wrote it down in my notes. So Alicia, I would like to put it in the chat, but um like I could email it to you if you wanted to share your email. Um I the thing is we can't put our email. We can't chat, right? I'm asking the people in here like we can't chat, I think. So like you could email me, Alicia, and I'll
She just put her email
so
address
my
in the
email.
notes, I think, in there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I thought I just saw an email address.
I don't know if you
Oh,
know who the other person is, Alicia. I don't know if you want to share your email, but you can, or my email is reikibyryda@gmail.com. And then I'll share the notes with you if you email me. But do you have any feedback for that? I also have feedback for you, but do you want to respond to Kim's feedback? I'll give you a second. But that's cool that you saw that. um, it doesn't show like if you're typing or anything. So yeah, I'll give you a second to respond. But hopefully it's okay if I give you my feedback too while you're trying to respond. Um, at the end, I saw a brown bear for you. The brown bear symbolizes strength, introspection, protection, and the cycles of life, guiding us to embrace inner power, self reliance, and renewal. So to me, that matches with Kim's message of being authentic, self reliance, leadership, personal authority. So, um, uh like what's that word I'm thinking of, just like your sovereignty, right? Working on your sovereignty and temperance and all that, right? So also I saw an image. Yes, I saw an image of open doors, like doors opening, and then like angels flying through them, so like you are protected and you have like new opportunities or new beginnings with the open door. So that's what I saw for you. And then the angels. It also, I felt like I saw like purple, also like a purple energy or aura coming through with those angels. So your intuition, I think we've talked about it before. You do have a strong intuition. So leaning into that as you become more of your authentic self, trusting your intuition, that goes like hand in hand.
mhm.
Yeah. Does that resonate with you, Alicia, or the feedback overall?
Did you get any sensations, Rita? I got a few sensations, but I wanted to see if you got any. Oh, you're
No.
releasing. That's good.
Oh, you're
You have a
saying, yeah.
release.
It's very,
Crying is a
it's
nice release.
very, yes, let it go. And every time I do these lives, and they're just little mini sessions, right? But people always have a lot of release, even in a short amount of time. So just feeling seen, right, and knowing that somebody who doesn't even know you can see these things about you is pretty emotional, right? To be like, whoa, this person can see these things about me, and it's pretty powerful. But yeah, you asked about sensations. I think when it's either when you were talking or when I was seeing the doors open, I felt like chills just kind of like rush through my whole body, like
Hmm.
cold. I guess you could say it felt cold. So, yeah. How about you?
So when I first asked permission to connect with the energies, I was like suddenly really scattered. It was like I could see my brain, like I could see these like little electric nodes just like shooting out, and it was like kind of chaotic. And that's where
Yeah.
felt this sense of like urgency came from. Like I felt very urgent. I felt like, oh, what is this? And then that's when I saw that
Hmm.
running and moving forward. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yes. Okay, that makes sense.
Really
And
remember that. Yeah.
so,
That's
yeah,
the
it was like
feeling.
that's how that story started to develop for me. It was like, okay, so then you're like, okay, is this me distracted trying to get myself
Yeah.
to connect, or is this the energy of this individual? And so that's kind of what we were talking about. Like, let that story play out so that we can get a better
Hmm.
sense, right? And that's where our discernment comes in that we were talking about. So I think that's a great example, right? I mean, just right now having that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So feeling like so your parents are always with you. That I feel like that the angels represent that protection, right? How they
Mhm.
flew through the doors and are like kind of almost like coming to be there for you, you know? So my when my dad passed away, I we weren't close, but since then, like I feel like he's always with me and we are much closer now that he's passed away, like in the 5D. I see him in dreams and I feel like he's more with me than he was when he was alive. So it's definitely different sense of closeness.
Mhm.
I don't know if you see
That's
that.
that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
What other
So yeah, if anybody
sensations do you normally experience when you're doing work on someone?
I'll get hot too. Like when the energy's moving, I'll get really hot, and that's why I take out my fan. Like I'll fan them off because I'm feeling hot too. But that's when I know that the energy is moving and that it's flowing. And then the sensations I feel on the client is like their body might twitch. I see that a lot. Or I guess yeah, there's sensations that I've experienced are when your kundalini is
Yes, activated.
awakening. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You'll also feel like, so in our sacral is our powerhouse and it's like our sexual energy as well. So some people will feel like sensual sensations during Reiki. I've seen people like, just
That's
have
happened to
very like
me.
intimate. Well,
Remember when we were working on the
yeah.
one client and I was like, I had to step away because it was like, wait, what in the hell is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, and then the other thing is getting, past life visions.
Mhm.
Okay, so you don't know this person, right? They just hopped on your table, and then you get this crazy vision that you've known them in a past life, but not only have you known them, you get, like, these intimate visions, and you're like, "Oh my god, I gotta step back." And then, of course, you don't really wanna tell them that because it feels inappropriate, but if you develop a friendship later, you can tell them down the line, but it's something you just kind of keep to yourself.
So, the last comment, can you read that last
Mhm.
comment again? Because I think
Yeah, I'm not
that's like
sure.
a really interesting topic all in and of itself.
Alicia says, I'm not sure if I may be a light worker. I feel and sense things or know before it happens. Yes, that gave me chills.
So,
I already
Alicia,
know, like, the fact that you're
yes,
yeah, the fact that you're drawn to
all
us
of
and
us,
you've been drawn to
all of
me.
us are here, right? To share our light in this realm. And so when you say, I feel like I might be, yes, absolutely, you are.
Yeah.
Some of us wake
And
up and
any
you
grace.
are probably going through that where you're awakening to your purpose now, right? And some of us maybe don't necessarily get to that point in a particular lifetime or incarnation. And that's a whole nother story. So, but I think that's an interesting topic because yes, all of us have light to share, and all of us have the abilities. And you say you just know things. That's my dad is clear. They call it clear cognizant. I
Like,
think something
cognizant.
like
Yeah, when
that.
you just know. Yeah.
He
I
just
feel we
he
have
just
that
like
too.
knows things. It's just like
Yeah.
he'll like he was somewhere one time at a party and just talking to this random stranger and he says, I swear I heard him tell me that he was going to school to be a nurse. And so my dad said, like, how long have you been in school to be a nurse? And the guy's like, how did you know that? I didn't say anything about that.
Yeah, that's
And
so
my dad's
specific.
like, I swear that you said that to me. So yeah, you just know things.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That is one of the gifts.
that's like definition of like a psychic, right? Like a this,
Mm-hmm.
What are
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that that do you have any examples, Alicia, or anything you wanted to share?
Mm-hmm.
And besides, I mean, knowing things before it happens is pretty like, yeah, like we can totally relate to that. But like the more, like we always say, the more you trust your intuition, the more you
Nice.
explore,
I
things
love
like
that.
this.
So it's in your lineage, it
Yeah.
looks like. That's
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah, just the spirituality. Yeah. Yeah, I would totally lean into it. And I think as you discover your authentic self and you in general, I feel like that will help open up, more gifts. And then to me, it's just like all the tests that you pass, like all these lessons we get. Every time I like pass a test, I feel like I get more like gifts, or that's
Mhm,
been my experience. And it's usually, it doesn't have to be, but it's like often through pain, like the lessons we learn through pain. So, I was told once that we can
right, you're
only
right.
spend, yeah,
Go
what's
ahead.
that?
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's okay. I was just saying that I was told once that we only ascend through pain, but then I don't know, I started feeling like, well, we can also go through good experiences and be activated too. I see at the age of 7,
Nice.
my mom's aunt who passed long before I was born. She came to me. I told my mom I saw her. She cried. I see at the age of 7, my mom's aunt who passed. Oh, okay. So you saw her even though she passed away before you were born and she came to you. Wow. Yeah, so you're able to see spirits and communicate with those who have passed. Yeah. Do you feel like you're in like a rapid ascension right now this year, Alicia? Like right now? So yeah, so it was interesting. I don't know about you, Kim, but during my rapid ascension last year, I felt very strongly certain gifts that like I don't necessarily feel now. Like at one point I thought that I was meant to work with like communicate with like people who have passed, almost like not like that's dark, but almost like in a dark way, and it scared me. Like
Mhm,
so in that dark way, I guess, that people are scared of. And then later I started feeling like, oh no, I'm here to like receive messages from the light. So it was just
mhm.
interesting how those feelings came. It just came really strongly only during my rapid ascension. But now that things are more subtle, it's like I don't feel a pull towards that so strongly, like either way.
Yeah, the one thing that I was going to kind of talk about here that I think is very important that we just recently learned about through
Mhm.
a completely unrelated topic is protecting yourself, right?
Yeah.
As we're starting to open up, and be careful of what we're opening, because as we learned, one of our Reiki friends um, opened a portal that didn't that some things that wasn't so pleasant came through, and she had to work really, really hard to get that kind of fixed around for her.
Yeah, through a
So
pendulum, not through
make
Reiki.
sure that you are protecting yourself.
Yeah. And like Reiki only brings in like, we asked to bring in angels of the highest light. And
Love and
so
light.
when we're doing Reiki, yeah, not to be mistaken, then we don't like people ask, like, is anything dark gonna come through? But this, when our friend opened up this portal, it was through like a pendulum, playing with
Mhm.
the pendulum and not knowing like all, I guess, like the rules and stuff of that. But not never through Reiki. Like there
Yeah,
won't be like demonic spirits coming through Reiki at all. So don't ever
no.
worry about that.
It's always for your highest good. And
Mhm.
it's your individual journey. It's not anyone else's. Which is also kind of cool, right? Because it makes every single session that we do different. I've
Mhm.
not had one session yet that repeated and was like, "Oh, I just did that same thing the other day," right?
Yeah,
At
no,
least for
never. Yeah,
me.
that's what I
And
think
even
is
with
cool.
the same person, I've not had the
Mhm.
same session. Have you?
No, I think that's cool, and it's different than with. I mean, teaching is similar, but it's also like you could do the same lesson over and over,
Yeah.
but it's different with Reiki. It's like, yeah, you go deeper every time. So, like sometimes I'll do not no touch because I feel like their aura needs Reiki, like
Mhm.
sometimes we're just so full and it's like exuding out of our aura. So then that's when I'll do no touch. And then the second session, I might be able to get closer to them and go deeper and get more physical and do like light touch.
That's really
But
cool.
yeah, Alicia
I
says,
go all in. I'm like, "Come here."
yeah. I mean, yeah, I
Let me
do that.
wrap you in love.
Yeah, sometimes I definitely want to just lay my whole body on people. I've felt that before too.
That might feel a little uncomfortable for some.
Like, yeah,
Boundaries, boundaries, friend,
because sometimes I'll
boundaries.
use like, I'll use more than my hand. Sometimes I'll use, like my leg, like if it's like
Yes,
next to their arm or something like, and it feels appropriate. But
yes.
yeah, Alicia, you're saying that you sense when things are going to be good, and then you know when they're not, they're bad too, right? So yeah, your spidey senses go off when you're like, I don't feel like I can trust this person or this situation. And those are perfect examples of like when to trust your intuition and practicing trusting your intuition and following it and not being like, no, let me just do that anyway. Like, don't do
Mhm.
that, right? So yeah, always honor your intuition.
Yeah, yeah, that's really cool.
Mhm. Yes. And if you guys have any other topics that you are curious about with Reiki, let us know and we'll put it on the agenda and for our next podcast topics. But yeah, we will, go back and forth and then as time goes on, we'll share more about like different aspects of Reiki. We're not necessarily doing like an
Energy
encyclopedia
healing.
from like beginning to end or anything like that, but we'll just incorporate it things as they come up and go along because otherwise it's really hard to get started if we just try to plan things like a book. So we're just going with the flow.
I think, and we also want to encompass it really to just energy healing,
Mhm.
right? Because there's
Yeah.
so many layers to
Yeah.
that. So, and
Yeah.
I think that's going to provide a lot of really great connection and conversation.
Hmm. Do you also have Reiki music on, or is that
I do,
me?
but
Okay.
yeah, I've had it on all
It's like
day.
the
It's
same.
just like it's always
Oh
on.
yeah.
I don't ever turn it off. I
That's
don't know.
funny.
It's just me.
I know people are like, "You sleep with this all the time?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm not
all the
just,
time.
it's not just for show. This is
Just
my
like
life.
when we give Reiki, we need it too, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I try to keep everything here. Baseline. Baseline, as they say.
Yes. So curious, I'm not sure who else is here. Sometimes we have people here and they don't say anything, but Alicia, what podcast do you listen to? Do you have a favorite podcast? I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, and then since I don't know, since my rapid ascension last year, I just stopped listening to a lot of things and mostly just like YouTube videos that will like just educate me.
Hmm. I like the podcast Stuff You Should Know. Have you ever heard of that one?
No, but that sounds so similar to the one I listened to. It was called Need to Know Podcast. That's funny. I have one more question. I was in a relationship. It's not Ed Shaky Leg, is it? There's a funny guy in Moon's chat who his name is Ed, and he talks about this girl named Shaky Leg. That's funny. I'm just kidding, Alicia. I know you're not dating Ed Shaky Leg. Okay, so you're in a relationship with someone named Ed from New York. You were. We kind of went separate ways, but wanted to know, does he still love me or think of me? Yeah, I'm just kidding, Alicia. Okay. You watch more. Yeah, me West too. We watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Did
Okay.
you guys go your separate ways very recently? I feel like this was something that was like brand new. Like you haven't been apart very long. And I'm seeing like a tug of war, like were you guys on opposite sides of the fence about something? Ah, that's what you've been chasing, Alicia. Are you chasing
Yeah,
Ed, Alicia? Stop chasing
yeah,
Ed. Become
yeah.
your authentic self and he will come back to you.
Yes. So, well, what are you seeing? What are you saying? You seeing something new, Kim? What are you seeing something new? Oh,
Uh
before Mother's Day.
yeah, so it is like it's a newer, like you haven't been apart very long. It felt like very new. Not chasing him, no. Okay.
Okay.
Uh
She just- They were separated. We kind of went separate ways. What why did you guys separate, if you don't mind me asking? And it was a long distance because you're from California, right? No, that was someone else. I'm not sure where you're from, Alicia, but you're not from New York, right? Okay. Ed.
I see Ed moving away. Um I sense that he's working on himself as well.
Hmm. He has like priorities that he's I don't necessarily sense like another person, but
Uh-uh.
feels like like he's working on himself. He has like responsibilities and priorities, he's kind of just tied up, focusing on himself. And I don't know, just men are socialized to be like perfect basically before they, get in a relationship. And so they're always focused on that while we're focused on like love. So naturally, it's like a chaser, kind of a natural for women to chase, even though we're not supposed to. But it's like we're like ready for love always, and they're always working on themselves to get ready for love. So feels like that's the energy. He's in that masculine energy. But focusing on you and then focusing on you, and then even sometimes meeting other people is really helpful to help you move on from kind of like waiting. I know you say you're not chasing, but sometimes we are kind of waiting a little bit secretly. Like we might not be talking to anybody else, so we're like, well, there's nobody else, right? So I might as well like secretly kind of wait for him. But only when you surrender, if you do want him back, will he come back? When you completely let go and surrender.
That is a true statement.
Hmm.
But I right now where the energy stands today, I don't see it being like this year. I think you'll stay in touch. It feels like you guys will continue to kind of come in and out of each other's flow, as you both are working on your individual selves. But I think that there's a strong, I'm seeing like magnets, like you're magnetically drawn to each other. And so
Hmm.
I think that if you guys are, as you're working on yourselves, bring those versions as you grow. If you're growing together, you'll come back together.
Yeah, as you're saying that, I get like, I got full leg chills, and I hear the word like soul ties. So you guys might be like, soulmates that are meant to help each other elevate, you know, and maybe to be together eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some soulmates are just meant to help us elevate, and we just keep like missing each other, and then, but every time we are together and then we separate, they help us ascend. So that's always important too.
Yeah, I'm getting a sense of neutrality. Like there's a neutral energy there.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Neutral's good.
It's a comfortable energy.
Yeah, feels pretty complacent.
Yeah, complacent
Mhm.
is a great word.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a great word. Hmm.
So yeah, if anybody else has any questions or any Reiki questions in general, have you ever had a Reiki session, a full Reiki session, Alicia, like outside of this online experience? Massachusetts. So you are also on Moon's time, right? It's 3 hours ahead from us.
What time is it?
Let's see.
Oh
So
my.
right now it
You
is
normally
eight. So
stay up
maybe
late, Alicia?
11. What's that? 8, 9,
That's
10,
the
11. Is
same.
it 11?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So let's see. Sensations, hearing. We haven't really talked much about things that we hear. Yeah, it's 11. Do you ever hear anything
That
unusual during your Reiki session?
yesterday, like that word book, I kept hearing the word book,
Oh,
book, book, book,
yeah.
book. I do get that.
Mhm. I
Um,
mean, so what I used to wonder, like, how do people tell these stories after Reiki? Like, like, are they hearing the messages and then they're repeating them as they come? But I realized it's not necessarily like somebody in your ear. It's just like you just know, or you're describing a vision. So it's like a vision of a story that you just know.
there it is. You just know.
Yeah. So and
I
then
guess we
so
all
hearing,
just know.
yeah, that's a big part of it. Hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, touch,
I get
touch.
touched sensations. I get touched. Like I will have spirits. Like I've had,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
I've had like archangels come in sessions,
Mhm.
and I've actually felt like Raphael put his hands over the top of mine, and like I have actually felt our energies like connect
Super
into
cool.
the client. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, yesterday, remember that was really cool too. Yesterday I had the lady on the table, and she had her dog there. Remember the dog was I
Yeah.
was giving Reiki to the dog also.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point the dog was really anxious and because she couldn't get to the mom. And so
Yeah,
had one hand on mom's heart, and then I turned and faced the dog, and I brought the energy from mom's heart through me and out over to the dog. And like the three of our energies connected into one, and I could feel like this love between all of us through the connection.
that's
That
that's
was
a
really
sweet dog.
cool.
Yeah.
That was very, very cool.
One
What
time,
about you?
Alicia said,
Do you get any kind of feel? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
"That's okay." Alicia said, "One time I heard my mom's voice, like 5 months after she passed in my apartment. I was washing the dishes." Yes. Oh, that gave my heart like chills.
I love it.
So that's like a thing, like a specific thing is when you hear, well, of course, when it's your mom, right? But sometimes it's just like you don't know who it is and you hear your name, but that's like spirit calling you. And like
Mhm,
whoever's in the house with you, you'll be like, "What?" And they're like, "It wasn't me." And so if it's like specifically you hear your name, it's like that spirit like calling you. So, but that's
mhm.
super cool when it's your mom and you know who it is. But yeah, like she's super there with you always. And it's always in the mundane, like quiet, subtle moments, you
Mhm.
know? Yeah.
Or you might smell their perfume, or you might smell like the favorite dish that they used to make. The
Yeah.
spirit always gives us little synchronicities to let us know when they're around us for sure.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Yeah,
It's just yeah.
the touch is pretty cool. I feel like that one's more rare, like being touched. I was able to, I know seeing is like visions, but like seeing like an angel, like almost like in real life during a session, that was really cool at my school.
Mhm,
We were doing Reiki, and then I saw like we were in a room, like the wellness room, and then like it was just us two in there. Somebody had to have come in to leave, but nobody came in. And then I saw somebody leaving. I'm like, how did somebody leave when they never even came in? But it's like you see half of their body, they don't have feet, they don't have head, but they're wearing all white. So it's like you just know that it's like an angel.
mhm.
Yeah, it was really cool. It felt really physical. Um, yeah. One time, when I was sleeping, I didn't see, but I felt like an energy on the other side of the bed in the middle of the night and walk around the bed and then go to me and like stand above me. And it felt kind of like I wasn't sure if it was like good or bad. And I think because I didn't know, it was like, ugh. And then once I like moved, it kind of disappeared. And then I think the day after that, I saw an angel walking into my room. Again, that was the second time I've seen an angel. So that was really cool.
That is really cool. I remember one time I was visiting my dad, my mom, my dad, and my stepmom, and I was distraught. I was going through a really, really rough time in my life. And my dad and I have, Rita, you know this, but for anyone who's with us, my dad and I have a very good relationship. He's my roommate, and he's like the best roommate ever. So we've been very close my whole life. But I was really distraught, and I had gone to bed that night, and I was asleep. And I swear my dad came down the stairs and was standing next to my bed and like had his hand on my arm. And I was
Mhm.
talking to him as though he was like right there in the room. And I
Yeah.
like kept looking, and I kept like, then I like my eyes were open and I was looking and like I couldn't see him. But it was like, and I asked him the next morning, I'm like, "Did you come down to check on me last night?" And he's like, "No, I don't think so." I'm like, "I think you did." But
Oh my
I've always felt like, and I've had those moments where you, like, have your out of body experiences,
God.
and, like, the energies and the spirits of our own living beings, we can connect energetically just like that through astral traveling. And
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's really how like distance Reiki works, right? Because our
Mhm.
energies can connect anywhere, anytime. It doesn't have to be in
Telepathic,
person. Mm-hmm.
telepathically. Yeah, that is really cool. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy when they're still alive and you're like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely felt like, like you feel other people's emotions. Sometimes you're just like sitting there doing nothing, and then all of a sudden you're like, and you feel sad. And it's also then you think of a person. So it's like you connect with their energy by thinking of them, or they think of you, and then it makes you think of them. And then you feel sad because they miss you or something, and your heart just like, and you're like, where did this come from?
Mm-hmm.
So recognizing that that's somebody else's energy,
Yeah.
also protecting yourself from that sometimes.
Yeah. Definitely important to cloak.
Yeah. Wow, today is Alicia's and your parents' 53rd wedding day. That's a really long time.
Happy
Happy anniversary.
anniversary.
Um,
Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. Thank you for
so,
joining us today. I'm sure that I feel like they're definitely here in spirit today.
mhm.
Thank you for joining us.
Alicia's birthday is July 3rd, the day after mine too.
Nice. Happy
Yeah.
belated birthday, Alicia. We're actually going to the beach tomorrow to celebrate Rita's birthday.
No, I'm excited.
We'll probably go
Is
live. I know us. I know us. We will
we should
probably
yeah,
do some live stuff over
yeah,
the
yeah.
next day or two.
At the
I,
beach.
I
Yeah.
know us.
Try to go live at the beach if it's not too windy.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you. Yeah, happy birthday to you too.
yeah,
Yeah. So you're celebrating throughout the month because I definitely have been celebrating all month.
yes. Birthdays
That's
are
cool.
something awfully special, I think, for sure.
I don't think I know. I know July 4th birthday, and I think I've met July 1st, but I don't know if I've met July 3rd, so that's really close.
My ex-husband's birthday is July 5th, and his oldest daughter is July 6th.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. How old? You're
29.
29?
20,
You're
are
29,
you,
Alicia?
no, she's like, Rita's 29 forever. Woohoo!
Oh, I'm 41. That's funny.
29 forever. Oh, you turned
Wait,
47. Good job.
I didn't see that. Okay. Awesome. Oh my gosh, 47 is such a significant. I meet so many people that age. It's so such a significant number for me. And I see it everywhere. Like my phone is always at 47%. Drives me crazy actually.
Synchronicities. What are the angels trying to tell you?
I know. So, Alicia, is there any questions you have about Reiki in general or energy healing? Is there any, I'm curious what gifts you feel like are most developed in you? It sounds like maybe the knowing, but yeah, I'm kind of curious. Like if you ever thought about Reiki or tarot readings or anything like that. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. And for those of you who are watching this not live, we will be back. Your abilities will definitely get stronger. I think that the fact that you are here and exploring all these things just shows like your initiative to want to,
Mm-hmm.
strengthen your intuition. So it's really up to you, like whether you want to continue or
Mhm.
kind of like suppress it. But when you suppress it, I don't know, it makes I mean, it's definitely a choice, right? But then it can create more challenges when you kind of like try to ignore your gifts, and try to just be only human and not spiritual. So your gifts will definitely get stronger. Just be around people who support you and let you be yourself, like don't be around people who dim your light or try to change you or make you feel like the way you are is not okay. So yeah, being around positivity and being able to be yourself is what will heighten your gifts and just going through life and experiencing and learning things.
The other thing that I would just add, because this is just what I've experienced personally this year, this has been the year that I've really coming back to self love and focusing
Mhm.
on grace with myself and forgiveness, but just having grace with yourself. And as you're starting to open your gifts, one of the things that I have personally struggled with is that my head 3D version of me says, I'm spiritual. I need to be perfectly fine and not have any like anger and not have, but then we're here to live the human experience. And so, really embracing that means that it's okay to feel the feelings that we feel humanly because that's what we're supposed to do. So, just have grace with yourself. That's my biggest takeaway
Okay,
this year.
definitely. Remember, you're human.
Hmm.
You said mentioned something to a neighbor, yeah, and they looked at me and said, "How did I know that?" And their jaws dropped. Yeah, that reminds me of the story of your dad.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool that we can do that. And so keep practicing it, but also remember to like be yourself all the time, but remember you will have that feeling, like you said, of who is accepting, who's not. So, of course, don't put yourself in harm's way by like opening yourself up fully to the people who don't believe, and then they'll just be negative towards you. Just be careful of that too, and using your discernment with who you share your gifts with, and knowing that they'll be
Yes.
honored, right? Your neighbor sounds like they are a believer because they didn't say anything negative, right? Um, but I think you'll know, yeah,
Yeah.
who you can with.
Yeah. I think that might be a
But
good place to tie things up.
yeah, that's good
That's a
feedback, and
great,
all of
great place to
this
end.
is helpful for us for more podcast topics, and yeah, we'll keep developing more topics to just chat about, and we'll just be on lives and basically hanging out and just talking. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, Alicia,
Thank you.
and everybody
Thank you
else.
for coming and thank you for being with us, holding the space tonight.
Yeah. We will see you soon again. We'll probably go live and share the coasts with you. I don't know if you've ever been to the West Coast or the Northwest, but the beach is a few hours away. And yeah, we'll go
Probably
live
similar to
tomorrow.
Massachusetts, rocky beaches and kind of cold, but it's beautiful. We love it.
And I never been there.
Me
You been
too.
there?
No, I just from what I've seen on TV
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
what I've heard in Barry Manilow's song "Weekend in New England."
That's funny.
All right, take care,
Okay.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.